Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to continue with the personality and general reading, and it's going to be for another Monsta X member. For I believe his name is Shownu. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly, and if I'm not, I apologize. Um, so yes, I think I am a bit familiar with his energy because when I did the group's dynamic series, I was able to see a bit of each member involvement and energy and synastry within the group, but I didn't have the chance yet to do an individual reading for him, so today is going to be about him. And for those that are requesting me to do a tarot reading for Blackpink member Lisa, I actually have a lot of videos about Lisa, and I believe that the the one that it's an update about her, it's I believe I did it like 3 months ago, and the personality reading for her I did it 5 months ago. So I want to without mentioning that I also have another um readings that include her. So we have to be respectful to the idol's energy. At least this is how I work. I don't want to read for them constantly because I don't want to like get in touch with their energy too often, because that's not healthy. That's not how I work. This is the same treatment that I give to my clients as well, because also reading the tarot, it's a lot of energies are developed, are being brought up, when you start a reading. So I don't want to get too intrusive into them. And also, if you are interested into what's going on with her, probably the one that I mentioned 3 months ago, it's something that it can describe her situation, like what's going on with her now or what could potentially be happening in the other 3 months. Like, let's give her a space, let's respect her energy, and let's not be invasive, and of course that I know that there are other readers that also do readings about Blackpink members, but in my channel I try to take my time and to not to be reading for the same person often. It's just the way I work with energies. So let's go with Shonu. Um, uh, I think that his astrological energy is that he is, I believe he's a Gemini sun with a moon in Capricorn. So yes, I think that something that actually like was really interesting for me to see is that he reminds me a lot of Capricorn. Actually, when I saw a picture of him, I was like, oh, this is very Capricorn energy, in the sense that he looks very calm, he looks very like like someone that is very sure about who he is, and it's not someone that is just like, like spending his whole energy like being bouncing around the room. Probably he can be energetic, but I think that he is a sort of administrator of it's for him, it's a whole process to decide what he wants to do or how he wants to react. Probably he's very like organized in that sense. And it caught my attention definitely, because I was like, okay, if he is a Gemini, why isn't he being like bright and energetic, and outgoing and talkative, and so I was like a bit like, why is he so like, he looks so like he looks peaceful, like he is just like a star, like he is just like this person that is unbothered, that he is just very comfortable being who he is, and this is very earth element. So it's interesting to see it actually. So the archetypes that he got, it's exorcist, heroine, and or hero in his case, and thief or robber. So these archetypes are really interesting, in the sense that I think that when it comes to exorcist, I think that I can see his moon in Capricorn here, especially because, like I mentioned a few moments ago about him having this exterior appearance about being very calm, very in control, very like put together, someone that just knows the right moment to react. It's just like it seems like he is not someone that you can like affect or have a sort of influence on his mood, that he actually is very serious about his role, about his job, about his profession, and also about his image. So probably he does have this sort of nature in him about being in perfect balance, and this doesn't mean that he doesn't have issues of his own, or that he's not worried, or that he's bored. It just means that he's just very secure. He's very secure in himself. So he's not going to fake, or he's not going to try to disguise himself with different attitudes, or with different mannerisms, so he can distract you from what is important for him. He just shows up, he just shows up. He's just there. He just sits there, and he knows that he exudes a sort of presence, and that he seems very powerful at the same time. There's something about his aura that is very powerful, that he can be silent, or he can be really like quiet, but it seems like he is someone that he is very impressive, that probably he is someone that as soon as he walks into a room, he all eyes are on him, and probably he doesn't do anything to get those attentions, because he doesn't need to. He's just he's someone that, and if we think about the archetype of the exorcist, he's someone that he works with what he has available. Probably he is also someone that he's not aggressive, in the sense that he's not going to force people to follow him or to do what he wants to do. Probably he just like he asserts his power, because I can feel in his aura that he is someone that he is very strong minded, that probably he is a bit stubborn, and he has a sort of way that he likes to do his things. Probably he has a sort of routine, or he organizes himself in a certain way. So if you don't like, probably he's also very like strict with himself and with others. So it's a sort of mentor, an old soul. So and if we when being about the exorcist, I think that it has to do with him being able to like work with what has been given to him. He's not someone that he is like envisioning or daydreaming, or like using his imagination to be like, oh, I wish we had this, or magical thinking. No, he's more about evidence, about physical evidence. Okay, what resources do we have today? What can we do with this? It's like, let's not waste our time with things that we cannot change. Let's work with what we have available today, and let's be grateful. So in this sense, he could be potentially a very influential member, also a sort of mentor, because he has a wisdom that it's weird. It's a weird way of being an influence, because it seems like he's not doing anything special, but actually the fact that he exists in the group, and that he is part of the group, is actually his importance, and the purpose of why he is there. And then when we have the hero, yes, I think that he definitely is someone that is very brave. probably if he is afraid or if he is a bit fearful or a bit uncertain about a lot of things that has to do with the group, he's not going to show it. Probably he's going to remain, in this very calm attitude. He's going to try to be, very centered, very serious, very focused, very, like, it seems like you cannot move him, that he's like this rock. He's probably the rock of the group. And at the same time, I think that in this hero archetype, definitely he wants to save his members. He wants to save the group. He wants to save everyone that he considers family, everyone that he considers his people, probably when it comes to fans as well. He wants to give a good example, a good message for the fans, So most of the time he tries to act like a hero, in the sense that probably he will be always willing to help, always willing to. And I'm not saying like he would go out of his way to do things, but he would probably be this very loyal person, someone that is always there, like a mountain that is always there, that that probably he looks like he's not doing anything special, but he is there. He has a purpose. His purpose is to bring stability, to bring consistency. When everything falls apart and when everything is chaos and when things start moving and changing, he just remains like where he is, And it doesn't matter if he has like some kind of commotion inside of him, he will not show it, He will just show himself in this very peaceful mode, where he just doesn't let his emotions get the best of him. Probably he tries to, he's very mature for his age. I don't know how old is he, but he seems like he had always been like this. He has a sort of attitude, he has a sort of presence that it's very wise and it's also very old. And then we have the fifth or the robber. So yes, I think that he is also someone that he steals people's attention. Like you probably have no idea how he does it, because like I mentioned before, it's always, it seems like he's not doing anything special, but he actually knows how to attract his audience. He knows how to attract the people that he cares about. He is this sort of shapeshifter. And this has to do a lot about him being a Gemini, that actually he is capable of change or being flexible when the situation requires him to be, and that everything he does is with a purpose. He's someone that has a lot of discipline. So probably you are like, oh, but maybe he doesn't like do much, or he doesn't move around that much. Probably he's also very reserved, so it's like it's not easy to actually him open up about his true hardships, because I think that when he is in this hero archetype, he doesn't want to let people see his weaknesses. And this is not actually to portray that he is a stronger. This is just because he thinks that everyone has suffered enough, and like he thinks that he doesn't have the right, or he doesn't allow himself to get that, vulnerable. I think that is not his time to connect with his vulnerabilities. I think that he is more on this mindset of being as professional as possible, and probably he does cry, or he does like um, allows himself to be more vulnerable when he is on his own, probably when he is by himself. But whenever he is on a stage, or when he is working, or when he is in an interview, he's just trying to remain very stable, and probably he does enables also the other members to have their own moments of vulnerability, because I think that there are other members that actually they are more emotional, and that they need to have those moments of letting go, of expressing all those emotions accumulated in their souls, so he gives them that moment to do it, because for him it's more about like, it's not that he doesn't have feelings, it's just that for him he knows how to separate his personal life from his professional life. So probably he does put like a very strong boundaries, and limit, between one area of his life and the other. So he could also be a sort of mystery for even for the fans. So let's go with the cards that he got. He got the Moon card, the Two of Wands, the Emperor, the Ace of Wands, the Four of Pentacles, seven, actually six of Swords, the Sun, the Six of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Six of Swords in reverse. So yes, starting off with the Moon, definitely there's a sense of him actually feeling a bit like, I wouldn't say he's sad, but he does have some inner fears and unconscious fears. Probably he's connecting a lot with some insecurities that he had been trying to actually to avoid feeling, probably he had been trying to hide, he had been trying to deny that he actually feels a bit low when it comes to energy. Probably he feels a bit like nostalgic. He's reviewing a lot of things about his past experiences. He's like, he's overthinking a lot about the past. He's thinking a lot about a lot of things that I think that maybe in the past he was very busy and he just didn't let himself connect with that side of himself, but now he's like connecting and he's like looking, also looking, not only looking at the past like to cry about it, but most to think about everything that he went through, and so he can plan for the future. Because even though he does regret a few things about his past and he does feel sad for a lot of things, at the same time he also feels proud and he feels really like, he feels like an emperor, and he feels like, okay, I'm going to turn these sad moments or these nostalgic moments into some opportunity to do something great, and to probably to build something, to contribute to something. He's someone that he's always thinking about being productive. And I think that he loves to be on action. He loves to have something to do, especially something that requires physical strength. He's someone that he's not lazy at all. He loves routines. He loves to follow a certain routine. He is very competitive. He loves to be the best. So I think that he is feeling a bit passionate and he's really looking forward to. He's coming up with a lot of ideas that are influenced by his past, but now he has more time to be like reviewing them. Probably in the past he was worried about other things that he couldn't see the potential. And now with this ace of wands here, he's like, okay, connecting with creativity again. And he's also building a lot of things, like building or playing a very active role in something that makes him feel really passionate. Probably he's doing something that requires a lot of strength, a lot of motivation, or probably a lot of um, stamina, a lot of energy. So he's like connecting with this very masculine side of himself that he loves. Probably it's about like working with his hands or something like that, or doing some kind of labor that I think that he feels like really energized by this, especially because he's like mastering like a new activity or a new role, and he's like, oh wow, this is different, but I think I'm getting the hang of it, so he's like really proud of himself. And then, yes, I think that for him, it's not easy to adapt to things that are not familiar for him to actually let go of living a comfortable life is something that sometimes he can miss some things about his routine, but at the same time he's like, okay, I cannot be complaining all day. Like, what can I do to make this moment of my life better, and then we have the sound card. So definitely, I don't know if he has the time to write some lyrics or to get like some kind of moment for himself, so he can like write, or so he can like express in some way his ideas, because I think that this new routine for him, this new lifestyle, is actually inspiring him. It's like opening a door for him of a lot of awareness at the same time, a lot of awareness, a lot of growth, about being more appreciative, about being more like humble, and recognizing that he does have a wonderful life, and that yes, he's busy, yes, he sometimes he's tired, but actually he's someone that he enjoys being busy. He's someone, like I mentioned, that he values productivity. So for him to actually being sitting around waiting and not do anything, he gets really frustrated, and I think that for him to have a sort of routine where he has a sort of activity or role to do, he feels like he is a new man, that he's changing a lot. He's changing perspectives. And I don't think that I would say that this new lifestyle actually is making him like more mature, because actually I believe that he had always been mature, but I think what he had lost, and actually what he is trying to reconnect nowadays, is the ability to enjoy himself, or probably the ability to connect with his inner child, because there's something about him, like him always trying to be responsible and being the serious one, and always like carrying like the burden of, it's not burden, but it's about responsibility, and it's about trying to always do your best, and being very strict with yourself. So I think that he definitely needs to connect with, yes, like you can do your role, you can play your part, but you can have fun at the same time, just let yourself go, let yourself be messy for once, let yourself laugh often, like appreciate those moments, appreciate what you have. And of course that he's someone that he has a lot of resources. He's someone that he's very in he has a lot of like imagination, and also the ability to create, but he needs to also disconnect a bit about work. He needs to connect more with him as an individual, as a regular person, not a celebrity, not someone's member from a certain group. I think that sometimes he carries that, because the group is his identity, and the group is his pride, so probably for him it's like his badge of honor, and he carries that badge of honor everywhere, in every aspect of his life. But in this moment, what actually the tarot cards are telling me is that he needs to connecting with himself, with who he really is as an individual, as not the entertainer, not the performer, not the K-pop idol, but more about who he is as a man. I think that he also had like, for a long time, he had like tried to like contain himself from enjoying his life or his youth. So now it's like, now he's starting to realize that he has the possibility to not trying to be perfect, and I think that when I say that he wants to reach perfection, it's not to be considered perfect. It's more so people don't speak negatively about him or the rest of the group. You know, I think that he hates gossip. He hates being on someone else's mouth. You know, he hates giving people, you know, content so they can gossip about the group or about them. You know, for him, honor and reputation are very important. So sometimes he does worry too much, you know, about him trying to be a very good citizen. You know, he trying to be his best. So sometimes he can look a bit like he is stressed, you know, or that he feels like his energy is a bit like, you know, like controlled, like he can doesn't allow himself to make a mistake or to just breathe. You know, there's something about him that he just, it seems like he doesn't breathe, you know, like he's always like calculating everything that he does. And he needs to let go of this. And I think that this period that he is in right now, that he is not going to be able to move on yet, because I think that he had like a sort of desire to travel and to probably do concerts overseas. And I don't know if it is about the pandemic or what, but I don't think he's going to be able to do these kinds of travel or this kind of movement that he wants to do. I think that he still has to learn a lot of about patience. He has to be learn to be more consistent, and things are going to move a little bit slowly for him when it comes to experience, but actually he's going to achieve more stability in his life, and he's going to um, gain a lot of experience and growth for himself as an individual. You know, I don't think that actually this is talking about the group's success or the group's activity. I think that is talking more about himself. And about that, I think that he does want to move on. He does want to do more, probably more promotions. He wants to do more activities, but the last card is the Six of Swords in reversed, and we have a lot of Pentacles here, especially this Knight of Pentacles. That is like he will be successful. He will get to his goal. He will achieve what he wants, but it's going to take a while. You know, it's going to take, probably things are going to delay, or just his energies and his efforts are going to take longer to actually being able to see the results, you know. But I think that he is definitely moving forward. He's moving forward slowly. He's adapting. He's trying to be more fair with himself and with others. You know, he's slowly trying to adjust to his reality, and he obviously it's like he needs to connect with a more patient side of himself, because if he gets too if he gets too excited or probably like too motivated, it seems like his energy is not going to be able to move as fast as he wants. So he has to be very patient with himself, and that he will eventually get there. He will get there. He will get to whatever destination he wants to, but he needs to be patient, and he needs to be consistent, and you know, and not to worry, just not worry, you know, that he will get there, and that he will be a whole new person, of course, and he will mature a lot, in a sense that he will become more in contact with who he really is as an individual, which is very important for a person's development. It's very important. So yes, guys, this is all I have for Shownu. I hope that you enjoyed it, and if you did, please don't forget to give it a like. And if you are a Monbebe or a Monsta X fan and you know about him, probably I would love to hear from you, because I don't know much about him. This is my first time. So if you want to give me some feedback about his story, I would appreciate it very much. So thank you so much for being here, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.